Welcome back. April is Rosacea Awareness Month, which is a good time to spread awareness about this disease. It's a treatable skin condition with good medications on the market, but left to its own devices, rosacea can spread and worsen. Here to talk about this today is board-certified dermatologist with Sanova Dermatology, Dr. Ted Lain.
Hi.
Well, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
So for those at home who aren't too familiar with this, can you tell me what rosacea really is?
So a lot of people think of rosacea as adult acne, but it's so much more than that. A lot of times rosacea sufferers have redness, especially flushing, that flares with certain triggers, and they have acne, but it's not the type of acne that you see in a teenager. It usually occurs mainly on the mid-face, like the cheeks and the nose, rather than on the body, for example, and it doesn't necessarily flare with hormones. So a lot of times you'll have female adults who have hormonal acne. Rosacea doesn't flare necessarily with your menstrual cycle.
Now, is this pretty common?
It is common. It's really common. In fact, it's becoming more and more common. And we think that's because of all the pollutants in the air, perhaps because of the diet, and of course the stress as well. It's becoming very common in our practices.
Okay, so we have some things up here. How do people treat this? What can you do to lessen it?
Yeah, well, what I first want to show you is things that can actually trigger rosacea. So there are certain triggers that are pretty common to most people that cause rosacea to worsen. One of them is alcohol. So we've got this great bourbon here. Bourbon, any kind of alcohol, we particularly think of red wine as well as something that can cause the redness to worsen and the pimples to come out as well. Then there's caffeine in your coffee or your tea. Caffeine can cause rosacea to worsen. Spicy foods can cause rosacea to worsen. Hot showers, nicotine as well. So a lot of the vices that we have can unfortunately cause rosacea to get worse. And then there are the ways to treat rosacea. So usually people with rosacea have sensitive skin, and they're very sensitive to the sun as well. So wearing sunscreen is really important, and moisturizing the skin on a daily basis is super important as well. So I brought a couple of things. There's a really nice water-based moisturizer for the summer that we see there. And then there's a couple of different sunscreens that I wanted to highlight. One's a really nice absorbing moisturizing sunscreen, and for those that want to use more of a powder, especially if you want to reapply during the day, almost like a makeup, we've got a great powder sunscreen, and powder sunscreen is becoming much more common and popular.
Okay, now is this something you want to use every day or just periodically?
Oh, absolutely. The moisturizers and the sunscreens every day. Look, sun comes through your car windows, your windows at work. Any kind of sun exposure can cause rosacea to worsen. It can also cause you to prematurely age. So of course, as a dermatologist, I want people to use sunscreen every day. But if you have rosacea in particular, it's really important.
And especially with this Texas heat, you want to make sure you have this.
Oh gosh, yeah. Absolutely. And these are great products.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. If you miss any information on this interview, it'll be uploaded on KVUE.com after midday. We'll be right back.